The damage caused by this winter's storm and tidal surges, not to mention complaints about the general state of our roads, means that the department in charge is busier than ever. But it's been asked to make savings this financial year of £5 million, which is half the government's overall target, and with the Department of Infrastructure Minister Laurence Skelly. Why has so much of the burden fallen on your department?
Well, it's a very good question, but I think very simply because we are the second largest department in government in terms of expenditure and also in terms of the number of staff numbers that we do have. We do provide a wide range of services, many of them public facing, and we've actually been committed to this 5 million savings. So what we're trying to do now is look at those services and look at what we do and to see how we can actually achieve those savings.
And where will the savings be made? What are you looking at?
Well, the savings will be a broad range. We're looking at a whole series of different options. We have a huge, the largest part of our cost undoubtedly is in the staff area. So we do have to consider that there will be potential losses in this area. And what we're trying to do is also we've just rolled out the new Mars programme, which is an opportunity for those to consider, their position for the future. So it is staff, it's also the services that we provide, the potential revenue, income and charges, and we do need to look at the scope of government work, because there's a considerable amount of work related to our department to see whether we might be able to implement any of those recommendations.
Now, you say that compulsory redundancies can't be ruled out.
Sadly, that is an absolute last resort for us, but we cannot rule it out at this particular time. So, and this is extremely unsettling for everyone. And I think we're not just the only department going through this. This is the entire government who has to rebalance the budget. So, what we're trying to do here is achieve a sustainable budget going forward. And we all know, particularly in the private sector, through these difficult times, people have suffered. They have suffered cutbacks, and they've changed condition, and we are doing the very same in government.
Now you talk about voluntary resignation. That's not a term I've heard before. How is that different to voluntary redundancy?
Well, it's a system and programme that's been effective already in government. We as a department have actually had, I think, 100 already go through this scheme. We now have a reintroduction of that, and it does create, I think, the opportunity for those to, as I say, to consider their position and their future.
So it's a resignation. There will be no redundancy.
Exactly, it is a resignation, and what we try and do is see if we can find the balance, because we do have services that are quite critical. And I think just seeing what happened this last weekend when we had a reactive team out on Peel Road dealing with floods at 4 o'clock in the morning, and so we've got to make sure that we can still provide those core services. As I say, it is a wide range of diverse services that we do provide.
Now, you mentioned those core services, and as I said earlier, people are concerned about the state of our roads. First of all, what happened on Peel Road over the weekend? What's the problem there?
It was a deluge, really, basically. Peel Road, along with other roads in Douglas, actually experienced severe flooding, and we're just coming to the final stage with regards to the work at Peel Road, and we obviously experienced some quite serious flooding. That was a concern, I think, for everyone. We reacted to it as quickly as we could. We now have a full investigation, but early indications are there was a blockage. There is work still to be completed with regards to the utilities, so we'll be reviewing that in detail and hopefully get that matter fixed, because drainage was an issue that we are looking for an improvement with regards to the works on Peel Road. But yeah, that does highlight, I think, the bigger challenge that we have as a department. We have a reactive team. We had severe weather changes. We had the tidal flooding earlier this year. We had the snow last year, and we do need an effective team to be able to react as and when necessary.
And in terms of the infrastructure side of things, can you be more specific there? What changes might we see? What projects might not be developing now?
Well, we have to look at, as I say, a whole range of it. You know, we're concentrating obviously on staff there, but there are, you know, charges, you know, that we need to consider. You know, one of the, you know, things that we do is we have parking, for example, and that's one area that we do need to consider. What are we actually doing with regards to parking on the Isle of Man? Do we need to consider charges? You know, that would have a serious impact with regards to our retail industry. However, we do have a lot of employee parking as well. So, you know, private sector pay handsomely for parking in Douglas right here. So that's just one of many areas that we're looking at. So it's all about looking at the scope, as again, the scope of government work, because there's a lot of specifics there that related to our department, that we'll be looking at opportunities to try and achieve those savings. The other one area we know we've actually inherited the estate services, which is really about shared services across government. We know we can drive some savings with regards to in that area, and we're working towards that. And I would say that the department already has been very effective in achieving savings. I think only last year they saved 3 million. That's a huge figure. Now we have to save 5 million. Even bigger figure, bigger challenge, much more difficult. But you know, I would applaud the actual the department in general in actually taking this to task.
Do you think that's possible then, £5 million?
Yes, I do, and I think the commitment that I see, you know, from the staff, and we've seen already reduction with regards to senior management, which is very important, and we just need to look, you know, more closely as to how these operations are. And you know, we're in this rebudgeting process with regards to the VAT reduction, which we all know about. However, it is taking a staged program to actually get to that. We're not slashing. We're not burning. We're actually trying to get to a point where we have a sustainable budget. So the staff, as I say, have been very good with regards to looking at all the different options, and each of the divisions, you know, we've already, I think, reduced 2 director posts in divisions, merging them together already. And we're seeing savings there, and we want to continue that and work towards a leaner, more customer focused department and government in general.